For generations, the Amish have cultivated some of the most beautiful, productive, and weed-free gardens you'll ever see, without relying on chemical herbicides or expensive tools. Their methods are simple, rooted in tradition, and surprisingly effective. These secrets aren't really locked away, but they're rarely discussed outside their communities, and many modern gardeners overlook them in favor of quick fixes. Yet the Amish approach to weed control proves that with a little planning, observation, and old-fashioned know-how, you can keep weeds at bay while improving your soil and growing healthier crops. The first Amish weed control principle is prevention. Instead of letting weeds take root and then battling them endlessly, the Amish stop them before they start. This often begins in early spring with soil preparation. They work compost and manure into the soil to create healthy conditions for desired plants, while simultaneously using shallow cultivation to disrupt germinating weed seeds before planting. In essence, they give their crops a head start, ensuring weeds never have a chance to get established. Another time-tested Amish technique is dense planting. By spacing crops close enough to shade the soil, they create a living mulch that suppresses weed growth. Tall plants like corn, sunflowers, or trellised beans often serve as canopy crops to block sunlight from reaching weed seedlings. The result is a natural, chemical-free weed barrier that doubles as a productive garden bed. This practice also retains soil moisture and helps regulate soil temperature, creating a more stable growing environment. Mulching plays a huge role in Amish weed control. Instead of synthetic fabrics or plastic sheeting, they rely on natural, biodegradable materials such as straw, hay, shredded leaves, or even wood chips. A thick mulch layer, usually 2 to 4 inches, keeps light from reaching weed seeds, making it nearly impossible for them to sprout. Mulch also breaks down over time, feeding the soil and supporting beneficial microorganisms. Amish gardeners are careful to keep mulch a few inches away from plant stems to prevent rot, while still providing excellent coverage. Hand weeding may sound old-fashioned, but it's another cornerstone of Amish gardens. They use simple, sturdy tools like hoes, stirrup weeders, and hand forks to quickly remove weeds before they flower and set seed. Rather than letting the task become overwhelming, Amish gardeners weed often and in short bursts, sometimes just 15 to 20 minutes in the cool morning hours, making it manageable and even meditative. Because they tend their gardens daily, weeds are never given the upper hand. Crop rotation is another quiet but powerful weed control tactic in Amish communities. By changing where each crop is planted each year, they disrupt weed cycles and prevent certain aggressive species from becoming dominant. This rotation also reduces pest problems and balances soil nutrients naturally, which further benefits crop health. One of the more unique Amish techniques involves what they call smother crops, or, cover crops. Plants like clover rye or buckwheat are grown specifically to outcompete weeds. Once these smother crops have done their job, they're cut down and either left right there on the surface as green mulch, or sometimes tilled lightly into the soil. Not only does this starve weeds of light and space, but it also enriches the soil with, lots of organic matter. The Amish also pay a lot of attention to timing. Now, many gardeners plant as soon as they possibly can, but the Amish sometimes delay planting certain crops by a few weeks, allowing the first wave of weeds to germinate. They then quickly cultivate and remove those weeds before planting their main crops. This clever trick, honestly, drastically reduces weed competition during those critical early growth stages. Perhaps the biggest secret, though, isn't really a tool or a technique. It's actually the Amish gardening mindset. They don't see weed control as a dreaded chore, but as part of a larger cycle of stewardship. By tending to the soil and working with nature's rhythms, they keep their gardens thriving without the need for harmful sprays or, endless battles. Patience, consistency, and respect for the land are just as important as any hoe or mulch layer. By adopting these Amish weed control secrets, prevention, dense planting, mulching, hand weeding, crop rotation, smother crops, and smart timing, you can really, dramatically reduce your weed problems and create a healthier, more balanced garden ecosystem. You'll save money, improve your soil, and maybe even find a little peace in the process. After all, a weed-free garden isn't just about appearances. It's about creating the best possible growing space for your plants. And if the Amish can manage it with simple, sustainable methods, so can you.